Good morning. Is that the after effect of last night's? I spoke to Zara and I said, please keep the minister away from last night's party. So she landed in Joburg, arrived here after the party, and I told her some snippets of what happened, but I kept the juicy part away from her. And I did the same thing to the MEC, my sister, Virginia Clapper, because I don't want to embarrass us in this province. They have been a good host, and we enjoy being here. Program Director, Lynette Dooley, Minister Patricia DeLille, Minister Aaron Mazzoletti, my sister Virginia Clapper, the MEC for the province, who is here this morning representing our Premier for Northwest. Colleagues from the diplomatic missions, government officials, the DGs, the deputy DGs, and our international guests, captains of the industry, members of the TBCSA board, and our CEO, the chairman of the SAT board and his executives, the members of the media here today, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. I think it's fair to start off by saying that last night's welcome cocktail started with fireworks, in the true sense of the word. And thanks to Sun City for their support, but also it signifies what our industry is capable of doing, to create something out of nothing. It is my honor to welcome you back to the TBCSA Leadership Conference. On the 7th day of the tourism month, and I'm sure if you look outside, it's a beautiful day. And we do have a beautiful country. And the minister will agree with me, even the Telegraph agrees with us. So we have a country to be proud of. It's also my honor to welcome Andy Pett, our Minister of Tourism, who is just not a minister for us. She has become a partner. Good to see you, Minister. And we are also glad to be back in the Platinum Province and at this iconic establishment, the Sun City. Let's face it, there's something about Sun City. I don't know what it is, but it's such an iconic establishment. Let me also express my sincere thanks to my fellow board members, our Deputy Chair, Jerry Mabena, our CEO of TBCSA, Chifwe Chivengo, and his team for making this conference possible. I'd also like to thank my colleagues from the TOMSA board. Thank you, Franco, who's the chair, Franco Jordan, who is the chairman of TOMSA, for your continued support of initiatives that benefit the industry. I think, depending what happens last night, those board members who can stand up so that the delegates can identify you. We are the TBCSA and TOMSA board members. If they're sitting next to you, these are Thank you. To the 450 delegates that are here today, I want to tell you that these are men and women that wake up every day to say, What can we do to improve the situation with our industry? Thank you, fellow board members, for your support. And I'm not sure if the CEO stood up, but you're also a board member if you didn't get that. We are gathered here today as the program director has said, under the theme of tourism, the engine of growth. A theme that we used last year, but for this year's gathering, we've chosen to place huge emphasis on why tourism matters. Tourism must matter, whether you're an investor or mama outside Mohwase, mama outside Kruger. Tourism should make a difference in people's life. Many of us gathered here today can quickly wax lyrics about why this annual meeting is key in benefiting our country's economy, because that has the potential to create jobs, drive social cohesion, not only for our citizens, but also for many visitors who choose to come to our shores for cultural exchange, amongst other interests. We therefore need to do a lot of work to educate others why tourism matters. This requires a great collaboration between us and the public sector and colleagues from other adjacent industries, such as automotive, financial services, and agriculture. One of the factors that we need to drive home to our stakeholders is that tourism is not a tertiary sector in the economy. Data shows that this sector is going to outperform the country's GDP by 1.8% over the next decade. This surely means that tourism can no longer be ignored. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we spend the next 2 days deliberating on policy issues that will create conducive environment for tourism sector to thrive, we need to keep the following in mind. We need to be clear and be deliberate as to why tourism matters to everyone in our country. We also need to emphasize the importance of collaboration between private sector and public sector, because this is the key to our success. And one of the things that we need to come up with is, what strategies do we need as a country to grow our arrivals? Because we do need that. And fourthly, we need to be clear as to what kind of collaboration we're going to foster as a sector with other adjacent industries, i.e., financial services, agriculture, and others. These objectives are going to guide our discussions, and over the next few hours, we'll hear from how the sector has performed. We're fortunate to have TBCSA that is represented here, and they'll show us data which will demonstrate the sector's economic contribution. As I mentioned earlier on, we also want to take stock from our global and regional and global colleagues on strategies that we need to implement for the greater good of tourism. That is why we have representatives from UNWTO. Alicia Grandcourt is here together with Anita Menderati. Then, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot emphasize enough the importance of the relationship between private sector and public sector to ensure that we grow our tourism. And the minister that we have embodies that. Whenever she speaks publicly, she talks about the importance of private sector collaboration with public sector, and always acknowledges that the government doesn't have all the answers, but collectively we'll come up with the answers to improve our tourism. That is why partly we'll hear from the DGs that are here, who are critical in how we do our business. It is therefore important, Honorable Minister, to know that as tourism, we're well organized. We have associations under us, we speak with one voice, but more importantly, we're not coming to government to beg for solutions. And I want to be clear on that. Instead, we are here to ask for government to co-create these solutions with us. We're not the problem. We're part of the solution. As a sector, we have the necessary skills and the resources to work with you to solve the challenges that we face as an industry. See us as part of your solution. In closing, we at TBCSA hope that this conference becomes springboard for the critical issues that need to be addressed, and that we have laid a groundwork for this in the past conference. Today, we'll give you feedback on strides that have been made over the past 12 months. But more importantly, we're going to, in that feedback, last year we talked about the issues of e-visas, safety and security. We need to give you feedback as to where we are on those issues, and the CEO will do that. We don't want this to just be a talk shop. We want the outcomes of this conference to be measured. But I must close off by saying that there is no amount of branding and marketing that will move the needle. But together, with the public sector and private sector working together, we can make a big difference for our tourism. With those words, I thank you and welcome to the 2023 Tourism Leadership Conference. Thank you so much.